actually a speech therapist, but I work with older people. And so a lot of my training and things was about child development. So I had a hint with my kid that, there were some things going on, but I knew that. And then I did the reading, and then I did the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like this course really helped spread the work in my house, where it wasn't just me sharing wisdom or coming with ideas or coming with solutions to different things. So that's one of my reasons, was that it wasn't just me that had some ideas on how to kind of remedy some things in our house.
Yeah, that's great.
Uh,
Detective Hart?
yeah, I can add to that point. My 8-year-old son has a lot of oppositional defiance, coupled in with his ADHD. So a lot of the, teaching comes from me, and it doesn't matter what I'm saying, he'll just want to disregard it and do the opposite of what I say. And this was a really great way to have teaching and help come from someone else, and have him be a little bit more open to those words and that advice. And that was really big for me as well. Just having someone else in there telling him, how he can thrive and how he can be better. And just to add to that, the two other main reasons that I took this course is, one, because I believe so strongly in the power of prevention. And I was seeing really difficult behaviors in my son. And I just believe if I tackled these behaviors and handle them now, as opposed to 5, 10, 15 years from now, it would be so much easier to handle. Those problems would just grow inside and outside of the house. And little people, little problems; big people, big problems. And I wanted to keep those problems little and tackle them at the helm. And it's a journey, but it's an excellent start to help tackle those problem behaviors that you just may not know how to handle, and that it really helped me learn how to handle that. And then the second thing is the relationships for me, I felt could be very troubled sometimes with me and my son and his siblings, just because of the oppositionality or the impulsive behavior. It led to some difficult relationship issues, and this course also tackled just relationships. And I don't think I realized that was a reason I took the course until after the course, because there were love notes that we passed out to each other throughout the course, and I still keep them because I love them. I loved hearing positive thoughts from my 8-year-old son towards me. It just melted my heart. And like a family game night, that was another something I didn't see coming. And we did this family game night. It was one of the family missions, and we ended up learning so much about each other and having so much fun. And it really helped our relationships with each other, and then also with siblings as well.
I will share that what motivated in my particular instance, our junior detective splits his time between two satellite agencies, if you will. And so one of the things that was really important to us is that there was some kind of a consistent language, patterns, understandings of how we can support our son and how we can create structure and consistency in some of the key aspects of his world. And so that was something that was really attractive to us. We love the fact that this was a family experience. This wasn't putting the work on him to learn or to feel like he has to change or he has to do something. This was as much about us learning as senior detectives as anything. And it was a lot of emphasis on working together and helping each other to understand and change life patterns for the whole family, and how those affect, um, how those affect the junior detectives, by both in terms of modeling behaviors, but also just creating an environment in the house that was conducive to their to success. So those were all the things that really attracted us, initially. And there's so many other things once we got involved, that turned out to, as Detective Hart said, that turned out to just be those extra bonuses, some really positive experiences and joys that came out of the course. But those are the things that attracted us initially. And the other thing I'll say is, once we looked into and learned more about the curriculum or the approach, it was so much more holistic than some of the things we've seen before. It really touched on every aspect of our lives, of our junior detectives' lives, and has continued to. So it really, I mean, those were all things that just appealed to us so much.
Thank you. Detective Tweety Bird.
Yes, I echo everything that all the senior detectives have said. I mean, for us, we came into the agency through a friend who has a kid that was actually in our class as well, and I believe that knowledge is power. You know, the more you know, the more that you can help your son or your daughter. So I joined because I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to my son to actually learn what was happening inside his brain, because I you can see it that he's struggling with emotions and feelings and all the things that are going around him, and he would not share that what he was feeling. You would ask him and he would say nothing or I don't know. That was the main answers that I got. And when I joined the academy, we listened to each other, it was like, oh my goodness, my son is doing the same thing that other kids are doing. So okay, so it's something that is manageable. It's just that it's part of the condition. So for me it was eye-opening. Like Detective Hart said, I mean, the notes, that first few assignments were like, oh my goodness, you know, there's other ways to reach out to your kid that is um, taking them away from what they usually hear from friends at school, and you know, the rhetoric of I gave you instructions, why aren't you following them? There are other ways that that you can talk to them and actually get them to understand where you're coming from, and you can understand where they're coming from. So that's why we joined, and we are so happy that we did. My son learned so much about his condition, which he didn't even know he had. This was a complete introduction to him. And after that, he talks about it. He reads books, and when he runs into the words ADHD, he's like, "Oh, mommy, just like me." So he now understands that it is a condition and how to calm himself down, how to eat better, and how that helps him. The same way as at the games, oh my goodness, you have to go and do them because they give you so much back. My son cried and made me cry as well with his when we share feelings. I was like, wow. So I encourage everybody to join because oh my goodness, it is well worth it.
I
It
mean,
is well
hearing these stories, I mean, you guys are making me want to cry because like this is amazing. And you know, this was just a dream a year ago. Actually, it's hard to believe, but just having these stories and hearing what you have gotten out of it means so much. I do have a comment. Hey, watching from South Carolina, joining next month. We're so excited.